welcome to Trucking Along with Kiersey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. Let's see, last time I left off, I was back in Oklahoma at Weatherford. I drove 515 miles yesterday through all the wind. I was in between two storm systems, which was really cool. So really pretty much I only had to deal with wind. Okay. Just as I was getting close to the Arkansas-Tennessee line, it wound up really raining. I caught up to the storm, so I was like, you know what, the heck with it. I paid, I think, $15 to park at a TA in Earl, Arkansas on I-40, and I don't deliver until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I was only 400 miles away from my delivery. So that meant that I had a lot of time on this load because of the way I was able to drive through the storm. I was like in between the storm, so it didn't slow me down. I think that one day that I was telling you I was in the wind and I was pushing really hard at, like, you know, and I stopped at Weatherford, Oklahoma, that allowed me to get extra time, because if I wouldn't have pushed that hard that day, then I might have gotten stuck in the snow that was behind me, which was a good thing that I did what I did. So the reason I stopped here is because I needed a 30-minute break and I'm at a rest area. This is not actually a rest area, and this is something I thought was important to point out to people who are new. This is a truck parking area. Usually truck parking areas do not have bathrooms. Some places will say no facilities on the signs. Some will say limited facilities. Usually limited would be, I'm going to cross across this parking lot so that I get away from the noise. I do have a wind sock on this camera, but you know, for ambiance, I thought, yeah, maybe you would think it was cool to like be next to all the traffic and everything, but we'll walk over here and try to get away from it a little bit. But anyway, usually if it says limited facilities, there'll be like porta potties. And sometimes there are nice porta potties that are like inside of a building, and you know, they're still porta potties. Like, they still gotta be cleaned out. They don't flush. And so this is just a truck parking area. It's really important for you to understand the difference when you're new and you're shutting down for the night. Like, I'm gonna turn around so you can see. Here's a dumpster behind me, and truckers threw more trash in the ground than they did in the dumpster. And this is one of the reasons why places like Walmart and stuff don't want us parking there, is because we make a mess. But if you see, there's not even any lines on the ground. It's just basically this huge wide parking space with no lines. And when you're new and you rely on places like this, you come in and they'll be parked at every angle and squeeze. Like, if there's only supposed to be, say, 30 trucks parked here according to the law and DOT, well, there'll probably be 70 trucks parked in here any which way. And if you park in here and then you can't get out in the middle of the night, that could be an issue. So keep those kind of things in mind. Truck stops, like last night, I was able to stop at some place that, yes, it was a paid parking, but it was straight line back, and it was big and open in front, so I could pull straight out. But I am going to head off to go get my fuel in a little bit, and then I might stop in Knoxville. I'm not sure yet. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to wind up seeing Curtis Barnes at my customer in the morning. He made reference to it, and it'd be interesting to see, because people don't realize how often you could see each other out here on the road when you're at the same company, because we have the same customers. When you're teaming, you can run into friends a lot more because you're covering twice as much ground. So Like when I saw them, they were talking about they were leaving for a delivery. I didn't get my load assignment yet when they left Albuquerque. Truck parking means no bathrooms. So take a look at my over-the-road hygiene video. I'll put that up above. Important for you to know where you can stop. Some rest areas, depending on the state, can be really nice. There are ones like in Missouri and Oklahoma. They have playgrounds and jungle gyms and really nice picnic tables and barbecue grills and everything. And some of them even have like little dog walk areas and stuff. But then you come someplace like this, it's not actually a rest area, it's a truck parking area. In the GPS, it's listed as a partial facility rest area. And that's not what this is. So use Trucker Path, zoom in on places. I've said in other videos to always have a plan for your parking when you start your day. Like yesterday, I originally intended on going to the Petro in West Memphis, Arkansas. The weather got bad though, and it was only 30 miles, but honestly, that place has like 300, 400 parking spots, and there's like 5-6 truck stops all in that same area. I knew it was going to be just like so congested trying to get in there, and when the darkness came and the storm came and it was just pouring down rain, I was like, you know what, I don't even feel like going there. I don't feel like dealing with that. It's okay to shut down 30 miles early, you know, and like I said, I have a lot of time on this load now, so I got up this morning, I sat down and had breakfast at the restaurant, I went and took a shower, and I've already driven like 4 hours, I think, so maybe when I'm gonna go fuel, so I'll bring you guys with me, and we'll see how this vlog thing works out, because you know I'm not tech savvy. Alright, see you in a little bit. Okay guys, so now I am fueling at a Pilot, still in Tennessee, because that's where I'm going to be delivering it in the morning. I'll be there tonight at the customer, but normally when you go into fuel, you wind up having to press a bunch of information into the pump, like your truck number, your trailer number, and your trip number. But Pilot Flying J has a really cool little phone app. You can punch all that information right from the truck, so when it's freezing outside or pouring down rain, it's really cool to do this. And basically what it does is you already enter in your COM data card, which is what I use for fuel, and have the truck and trailer information. And it also asks from here, do you want reefer, truck, or DEF? So I need all three. Okay. And it has my truck number already in here because it's attached to my rewards cards. And at Prime, if we use the mobile app to do all this, we actually get more points. So, trailer number. We're going to check out the trailer number. Is this really the trailer that I think it is? Yeah, okay. Sometimes we wind up with so many trailers in one day or 2 days that I forget which one I have. Or if it's been a while, like a long trip like this, I'm like, wait, is that the trailer I still have? It seems like it's been forever. It also asks, can we help you with anything else? Do you need to buy products in stores? This is where you would get like oil, any kind of fluids, anti-gel, that kind of thing. So now it's actually approved, and it gives you a little code. I don't know if you can see that. It gives you a code that you then go punch into the fuel pump. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so all I gotta do is punch in this code into the fuel pump. Handle, or it won't work. Okay, so you put diesel 2. Don't do diesel 1, and don't put DEF in the diesel tank. Only diesel 2. I'll be right back because I'm going to do the other side. So once this winds up filling, okay, then you wind up putting in the DEF into the separate tank that's here, and there's a button. I don't know if you can see it, but it says diesel exhaust fluid. So you use that. It is actually a separate pump that you can see here, this handle here, and you put that in. When you replace that, make sure that you put it back properly, because sometimes it won't allow you, it won't cancel out the transaction if you're not going to do reefer. If you are going to do reefer, it may not actually end the DEF portion of the transaction, so you won't be able to get your reefer fuel. So etiquette when it comes to fuel lanes. A lot of people will take their 30-minute break in the fuel lane. Is it legal? No. Do people do it? Yes. You know, try to be courteous of other people. Have I had to do it? Yes. But I've even gone on off-duty status and then drove right around the fuel pump and came into the lane again just so I could finish my 30 minutes. There are some people that will pull in and then they're sitting in this aisle for 15 minutes, and then they pull up forward and they go inside the store and they eat and they go to the bathroom. I've actually seen people go in there and sit down at restaurants while you're in the fuel island, and then people will go in and start screaming, yeah, are you Prime, are you New England, or whoever the freaking company is. But that's how there's fights in the fuel island. And if you watch some of the YouTubers, some of them think it's funny to go chasing people in the fuel lane. But have common courtesy for other drivers, not just a matter of when you're dealing with fuel. But if you're at a customer, don't sit in your door and do all the paperwork once you're loaded up or unloaded. I've seen people do that, and when you have a customer that has like 3 doors and 40 trucks sitting there, that's an issue. You can pull off somewhere, allow somebody else who's waiting for that door, because somebody else is just as, you know, in a rush or tired as you are. So have some courtesy for other people. You know, last night I had paid for parking at the TA, and they have the poles that reserve the spaces for us to indicate reserved parking spots. I backed in, and then I got out and I moved the pole in front of my truck so that the next guy who came in was trying to back up. And it was really dark and it was raining, and I could see him like trying to clean his mirrors off. He couldn't see because it was so dark. So I got out with my flashlight and a really bright shirt like this, and I was guiding him back to let him be able to see that he wasn't going to hit anything. You know, it's just courtesy. Be nice. I said it in one of the live feeds that I was at Coca-Cola, and the guy who unloaded me was so shocked that I was smiling and I was nice that he came out. His name was Willie, his coworker was Richie, and they took a picture with me. And then when I went to go do my paperwork, the guy in there, his name was Mitch, and he was really nice, and I said Merry Christmas, and he says, oh my God, you're like the best driver we've ever had, you're so nice and sweet. And then in addition to that, I'm going out the guard gate, and the guard, Katie, I said to her, Merry Christmas, don't take any crap off of these guys, and she says, you know what, you are the first person to say that to me. And she was like, you are the best driver we've ever had in here. I'm like, some of these people are really miserable. Okay, I'm doing this still because there's nobody behind me, so we're not being rude, okay? Something to remember about the reefer when you're filling it up, make sure that you do it as quick as possible. You have to pull through the lane and then line your reefer up to the pump, get out and start doing. If you don't do it fast enough, then it's going to time out and you're going to have to start all over again, and it won't be fun, trust me. Something else that was really to do that is to actually try to judge it based on your landing gear legs, versus the distance into the pump, the distance into the tank. So understand where it is. So when you're looking back here, how far does that landing gear leg look like it is to the reefer? And that's what I use to judge when I'm pulling up to the pump. I'm actually trying to figure out, you know, is my leg of the landing gear now a foot in front of the pump, and how much distance do I need? If you get it wrong and you have to jump back in the truck and then move forward or move back, it's possible the pump might time out. And then you'll have to start all over again with that button process. Which means that some guy behind you is going to be screaming and yelling that you're in this way. And now if you see, we also pulled forward, both of us. See, another prime truck here, right? We pulled forward and then there's a line here. And we went inside and I went into the bathroom and I grabbed my receipt and then I came back out. Okay, there's nobody behind me. If there was somebody behind me, I probably wouldn't even have gone to the bathroom. I would have just went up there and went and parked because there's lots of space up there to park. But there was nobody in these fuel islands when he and I both went into the building. Alright guys, so now I am at the Blue Beacon truck wash in Knoxville, Tennessee. And
hey, what can I get done for you?
hi, how you doing?
Good.
Could I get the truck and the outside of the trailer wash, please?
Yeah.
I'm loaded, so
Do you want truck and trailer?
please.
Do you want any rain X or anything?
Yeah, do the Rain-X, please.
On both of them or just the truck?
Just the truck.
Okay. Got one other question for you.
Yeah.
Do you want the classic wash or no brightener wash? Classic wash, all it is with the brightener, it's free. Both.
Yeah,
both
do the
washes.
classic, that's
Okay.
fine. I got a question for you. What's your name?
Tim.
Tim, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I got a question. I do YouTube videos. You want to be on camera?
I'm not sure if I allowed to do that. I see your camera right there.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Well, I wanted to see, like, do guys give you problems? Do the truckers give you problems and stuff?
Some of them, very seldomly though.
What do they complain about?
Just like, I don't know, basic things. Some are picky with how clean their truck are.
Yeah.
How much Rain-X they like on it, or that. Or sometimes they might complain about a guy that seems to be lazy. We really don't have any lazy people here.
I bet you wouldn't have any lazy people here. You know why I come to Blue Beacon?
Why?
Because you guys always do such a great job, and you know, every single time I come, you ask me if I want to go check it out, right?
Yeah.
And my response is always the same. I don't want you telling me how to do my job and drive my truck, so I don't want to tell you how to do your job. Yeah, right?
We'll have you in a few minutes.
Thanks for talking to me. Thanks. So, be nice to these guys. They're here 24/7, and you know, usually they're closed like on the holiday itself, like Christmas, but you know, they're still here like till midnight or something the night before. So I don't know how other companies do it. I'm assuming they do it the same way Prime does. All you have to do is when you get up to the counter, you give them your truck number, the trailer number, and your trip number. That's it. And then they do a direct billing to Prime. And Prime will send you like a PO number, but we really don't need that. As a company driver at Prime, we are allowed we are allowed 2 truck washes every month. And you pretty much can get the trailer washed anytime you want. And it's really cool. Nobody is here. Sometimes when you come during the day in high peak areas when everybody wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning, or you know, 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll see a line. Different cities have different wait times. There are some Blue Beacons that only have 1 lane. There are some that have 3 and 4. Some will have a washout only lane. Okay, we are gonna pull through. Okay, he's direct. me up above, and I am following his direction. These guys are over here. I decided to get the entire truck washed, truck and trailer. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm all paid, and Tim is the guy who like took my order. I don't know if they call him an escort or whatever, but I paid for the Rain-X because Prime will not pay for the Rain-X on the truck. It's only like $8. I like it. I don't care. So they're already open my doors here, and oh, look, the rain's coming down. Woohoo! Look at the rain. Woo. Yay! Because my truck was dirty and it really needed a bath. And let's see, I am 47 miles away from my customer, and it's 8:10 p.m. So, you know, figure we'll get there 9, 10 o'clock, whatever, the latest, you know. And then I will take my break there. My appointment is for 7 a.m. It says that they'll take me early. So, if that's true, then, thank you. If that's true, then they open at 5. So, I might actually get in the door around 5:30, which would be cool. And then I'll take my break there, finish out my break. Greedy One Kenobi will be in the morning. And this is something that new drivers really have to learn, is that by me doing what I'm doing tonight, okay, by me getting there and being able to take the break overnight, it gives my fleet manager a chance to get me a better load. How, Kirsty, could that be possible? Well, because what'll happen is, like, if I stayed here and I parked here and I'm like 50 miles away, there are truck stops all over here in Knoxville. Petro, it's awesome. Petro always has parking here, even at like midnight. And everybody has their own idea of what better truck stops are, which ones are their favorites, or which ones they like the showers or the restaurants or whatever. But by me going directly into the customer, I don't start my clock in the morning. Okay. If I decided to, oh look, there is a trash can here and a little vacuum. So I'm gonna stop here real fast and I'm gonna throw out some trash. But basically, if I would have taken my 10-hour break and then started in the morning, because I'd have to be there at 7 a.m. for the appointment, right? I would actually be stopping. It's 8 o'clock now. I'd get my hours back at 6 a.m. and I would just make it in time. Now, I know people get confused with the 8 sleeper. I could do 8 in the sleeper here, and then that would be 4 a.m. that I would wind up getting started. So that would give me 3 hours to play with to get to drive that 50 miles. The problem with that is the 14 clock, and I'm going to do a video, I promise, about all the different clocks, and then you'll understand. After I do that video section, that series, come back to this one, and then maybe you'll understand it better. But if I say I start my clock at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then I get to the customer and they're making me wait and wait for doors, well, guess what? I just started my clock. My whole day is ticking away whether I drive or not. But if I get there tonight, I can take my 10-hour break. I don't even have to start my clock because I can do PC and move into the door as a relocation and get out of the door as a relocation. And then I could go park and finish out my break. I could wait there until I get a load. So I don't have to start my clock. When you start your clock and then you drive in, especially short distances like that, you're kind of tying your fleet manager's hands, because now he can only get you a load within that clock. So it's possible that Greedy One Kenobi can come in the morning and say, oh, there's an 1,800 mile load that I need you to pick up at 1 o'clock or 1,300. And because I didn't start my clock, I have plenty of time to get up there, get the load, pick it up, and get out. Okay? By doing this, it helps me. It gives me more money. If I start at my clock in the morning, because my clock is ticking down all day already, he's only going to be able to give me a load that my clock allows. And it has to do with that 14-hour clock, which sucks. I'll be right back. So now we're off to the customer, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so I didn't show you, but I did park and go run into the ladies' room and grab a quick salad snack, and I got to my customer. I went and checked in with security, and it's like I said, they don't open till 5. My appointment's at 7. I wound up parking at 9:40 Eastern time, so 21:40, which means that I will get my hours back at 07:40. They basically already checked me in, so they're just gonna call me in the morning after they wake up, after they open up. So I'll just set my alarm and you know, wait for them. I can go in, get unloaded, and then park back out here on the driveway, and then wait for my fleet manager. I did meet a driver here that refused to be on camera, but he did tell me where there's a washout like 2 miles away. So I'll probably wind up going down there after I get out of here. That way, I mean, I'm already fueled. You guys saw me fuel, so I don't have to fill the reefer again. It's not going to use that much fuel by the morning.